YouTubing, Snapchatting, rumbling, fuck, shake your tits and swing your dicks. It's the first Friday in August, kids. Summer's basically over. But don't worry, kids. Dr. Tommy's got just a prescription for what ails you. Another genital dribbling episode of your favorite internet sensation with libation. That's right, the Friday wrap-up is back. Okay, before we get today's show kicked off, I want to tip my hat to today's libation. I've shown these before, but I haven't shown them this year. A couple weeks ago, I had the Paloma version of the Cutwater cocktails. This is one of my favorites. This is the lime margarita. And let me tell you something. This thing will fuck your day up. Apparently, I have a fly running around in here somewhere. So, that's fun. Anyhow, so, salud. All right. These things are very strong. It's about 12% alcohol by volume. It's got a lot of tequila in it. So, salud to drink up and be somebody. Just as good as if you made one yourself almost, but not. You know what I mean? But it is good. I always have these in the cooler at the beach. They are one of my favorite libations. So, what a week it's been. As you can see, the office is a little barren. I've been migrating stuff over to the new digs. I told you I finished that project up. So next couple weeks, I'll be migrating everything over, the sneaker wall, the desk, all that shit, and get that all set up. But in the meantime, I guess you're going to have to deal with a naked wall. I think you'll be all right. Okay, like I said, what a week. You know, they were... the other day, I think it was like Tuesday or Wednesday, they were protesting circumcision that's the turnpike on Tuesday. Actually, it was Tuesday. Yeah, so it was Tuesday. So they were, people tell me the strangest shit, but and I Googled this because somebody had texted me and told me, a friend of mine texted me and told me that they were doing this. So I Googled it. It's people walking up and down Hempstead Turnpike in East Meadow protesting circumcision, saying it was genital mutilation for non-consenting children. Now listen, you know, whatever your personal preference is, if you want to clip the tip or not, that's up to you. I know it's a religious thing if you're a Jew. They say it's done for health reasons. Whatever. But anyhow, you know, to each their own. Is this something you need to fucking protest? I don't think so, but, you know, hey, to each their own. Non-consensual genital mutilation for children. That's the basis of their protesting. And yet, no one seems to have a problem, you know, nipping a kid's dick off if they say, I think I'm a girl today. Like, that's okay. Like, you know, like a fucking 4-year-old can make that decision, right? But don't even get me started. Okay, what else this week? Pee Wee Herman died. Yeah, you know, Paul Rubens. Pee Wee Herman died Monday from cancer. He was 70 years old, you know. Who knew he had cancer? Somebody, he kept it a secret, apparently. You know, everyone remembers Pee Wee Herman. You know, he went from, you know, Pee Wee's Big Adventure, Pee Wee's Playhouse, Pee Wee's Big Adventure, then to Pee Wee's Playhouse, big sensation in the 80s. And then, you know, it's before internet, before Google, before you had like a little like porn studio in your pocket with your cell phone. He got caught jerking off in a fucking adult theater in Sarasota, Florida. Could you imagine? You're sitting 2 rows in front of fucking Pee Wee Herman, and all of a sudden you, you know, and are you everyone am I? You know, before I hit puberty, I used to be able to do a pretty good Pee Wee Herman impression. But yeah, so you know, that kind of stalled his career a little bit. Ended his Saturday morning TV show, but you know, he started to come back to popularity in the last 10 or 15 years, because you know, I mean, jerking off in a fucking adult theater is not the worst thing you could do nowadays. Sad but true. So yeah, anyway, 70 years old, died from cancer. He delighted us all with his You know, fun fact about Pee Wee Herman. His father was an Israeli fighter pilot. helped establish the Israeli Air Force. So, he must have been a tough motherfucker, right? And then here's his son running around in a bow tie and in a gray suit, jerking off in a movie theater in Florida. That comes full circle. So here we go. Pee Wee Herman, Azalud, okay? Be sure and tell him Large Marge sent you. Okay, last week I told you guys about an episode I had at the bar where I torched some fucking idiot. It almost happened again last Friday. So, I was outside having a smoke, and I see this fucking Indian guy walking in. 9 sheets to the wind. And he was wearing these fucking slides, right? And I can't... But, oh, God, as he's coming down, his fucking toenails was hanging over his foot. And I'm like, and I said, where you going? He goes, I'm going to get... Meanwhile, the guy's swaying all over the fucking place. He goes, I'm going to get that drink. I said, no, I don't think so. Get lost. No. So he walks inside, right? So now I come in after him, and I looked at the bar, and I went like that, So the bartender, she's a tough little bitch. she just... flat out cut him off. This guy got all bent out of shape. He's walking out, so I followed him outside again. He goes, I don't understand why they don't want to send the prejudice. I said, no. I said, no, it's because you're already fucking drunk and your toenails are making everyone fucking nauseous. I said, get the fuck out of here. He goes, I'm going to call the police. I work for the police. I'm going to call the... I says, okay, good luck with that fucking phone call. But what is it with these people? Where are these fucking creatures coming from? Can I know? I walked back inside. The owner goes, I'm surprised you even let him in. I says, I wanted to see what would happen. He's like, his fucking toenails are coming over his shoes. He goes, I'm surprised you didn't fucking kick his ass for that. Unfucking believable. Jesus Christ. Anyway, so the other day, it was nice out. And I decided to go to the beach. It was a nice day. It was hot. I said, you know what? I need a fucking day off. I decided to go. What a mistake that was. Instantly, I get aggravated when I go anywhere. So I'm at the beach, and for some reason, it was fucking crowded. I don't know why. So I had my tailgate down. I was getting my beach chair out of the tailgate. So I was, the cooler and everything. And, the parking lot was crowded. So there was a person, waiting, And then some other chick wanted to go around him. But I guess my tailgate was in the way because that's the opposite flow of traffic, not my fucking problem, right? So out of the corner of my eye, I see somebody lifting my tailgate. And I fucking flew out from the other side of the truck. It was a Spanish guy. And some Puerto Rican. And I just fucking shoved him. I go, what the fuck are you doing? He goes, the woman wanted to go around. I said, that's her fucking problem. I said, you don't touch my fucking truck. He's like, I'm just lifting I said, I don't give a fuck what you were just doing. I says, unless you want to end up decapitated in the fucking sand dunes, get the fuck out of here. What is it? People they just think, oh, it's okay to go around just touching things. First of all, he was younger than me. He was a kid. So they got no fucking brains, these people. You don't touch other people's shit. You see me standing there, ask me. Don't fucking just assume you're going to touch something and not get your fucking head kicked in. I don't understand what's wrong with people. I'm telling you, the way I'm going lately, I'm going to end up doing 25 to life. Fucking people, I swear to Christ. Yesterday, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about this later, but yesterday, I had to go to a minor league baseball game in Connecticut. My company sponsors this thing for nonprofit. It's a nonprofit association. I'm not going to get into it, but so I was one of the sponsors, so I had to go. It was in Hartford, Connecticut, with the Hartford Yard Goats. That's the name of the team, the Yard Goats, and this is the minor league AA affiliate of the Colorado Rockies. I don't understand, how you go from Colorado to Connecticut, but whatever. If you've never been to a minor league baseball game before, they're an event. I mean, look, I'll say this. First of all, Connecticut doesn't really have any kind of sporting events, so this is like the closest thing they're going to get to a fucking real baseball game without going to Queens or Brooklyn or whatever, but Queens or the Bronx. But, you know, a minor league game is, you know, if you want to take the family out, you want to take the kids to a baseball game or something, you take the whole family out, like on a Friday night, Thursday night, whatever the fuck, summertime. It's not a bad thing. First of all, it's a smaller stadium, so you get a nicer, closer view. It's not obnoxious. Like, I mean, the tickets are reasonable. They're cheap, you know. Food, like a hot dog, is like $4 or $5 as opposed to like $13.50 at like Citi Field or Yankee Stadium. I mean, yeah, you paid a little bit of a premium, but, you know, you don't have to remortgage the fucking house. Like, you could take the, you know, the kids and the wife and everything out, and, you know, you can spend a couple of bucks, but you know, you're not taking out a second fucking mortgage on the house to take the kids to a game. You know what I'm saying? It's like you let them go a little crazy, have a little fun. You know, it's reasonable. So, I mean, it's good in that sense. I mean, it's some decent baseball. If you're a fan of baseball, and you don't get caught up in the major league shit, then yeah, it's a good little thing to go to, I guess. Now, like I said, I had to go because my company was sponsoring an event there that night. So, first of all, fucking Hartford is like, on a good day, like maybe 2.5 hours away. All right, no big deal. I left the office yesterday about 2:30-ish, you know. I didn't get pulled into the fucking parking lot till about like 5 after 6. Now, the game starts at 7. I had to be there no later than 10 after 6 because of, you know, we're doing this event thing, right? So I pull in, like, fuck me. I'm very seldomly late, but when I am, I don't really give a shit. You know what I mean? Traffic is nothing I can do. So I walk into the stadium, and just as I walk in, I had to pee. I was in traffic for 2.5 fucking weeks, right? So my back teeth are floating. I walk in, one of the guys comes running up to me, oh, Tommy, oh, I was just coming to look for you. I says, yeah, I just got here. He's like, come on, we have to go down to the field. I go, what do you mean we got to go down to the field? We got to go down to the field. I says, the baseball field? I don't understand. For the field? He goes, yeah, we got to go down to the field. Come on. For roll call. I'm like, roll call? What the fuck are we talking about here? So now they got us lined up on the warning track by the third baseline, right? And I'm like, what are we doing? He goes, well, you know, they're going to call your name because you're one of the sponsors and you got to come out and, like, you know, wave to the crowd. Yeah, okay. So, mind you, so now I'm standing, I'm facing the dugout. My eyeballs are turning fucking yellow on me. I'm waiting for them to call. They call my name. I do like the wave, like I'm getting inducted into the fucking Hall of Fame. Hey, how you doing? To the 4 people that are in the stands, like watching, like, because I mean, this isn't a sold out game. It's an hour before, you know. They had like a thing there with the kids for kids, like a Harry Potter night. So there were a couple people there, and so I mean, a few of these fucking mamalukes are sitting in the stands. They go, "Oh, this is probably important." So I wave, they wave back, they're cheering. I had to pee. So as soon as I wave, I run into the fucking dugout. I'm right across the fucking dugout. So I go trotting into the dugout. I go past a bunch of the players. I go right into the fucking locker room. Go into the bathroom and take a squirt. I'm walking out, and I don't know if it was the manager, one of the coaches goes, "Wait, you're not a player." I'm like, "Yeah, good observation." He goes, "You're not supposed to be here." I'm like, "I had to pee." And I just walked out. And meanwhile, when I ran into the fucking dugout, everybody's looking around going, "The fuck is he going?" I come out of the dugout, they're cheering again. One of the guys goes, "What the hell? Where'd you go?" I says, "I had to pee." This is the nearest fucking bathroom. I wasn't running all the way up to goddamn bleachers. I said, "What are you, fucking crazy?" I'm telling you, I upset everybody at this fucking game. There was this woman standing next to me. My God, my faccia brutta. I don't... Oh. You know, there was a lot of ugly people in Connecticut. I'm sorry. If you're from Connecticut, I hope you're one of the few, like, good-looking ones, because, I don't know, there's a lot of faccia brutes over there. This woman was terrible looking. First of all, she was like, she had a witch's nose, it came out like a hook, and then at the end of the nose was this fat little, like, fleshy mole. Like, I just wanted to, like, just flick it. Like, I could have taken, like, a razor and just go, and just take it. And then she had, like, stubble on her chin. She was lumpy as fuck. She looked like a beat-up old sofa. It looked like someone stuffed 30 pounds of shit in a 10-pound bag. Like she was just, and she's wearing those stupid sandals and just sitting there like, oh, it's a beautiful night. I'm like, oh, God. And anyway, this other woman, her kid was supposed to throw out the first pitch. You know, you ever just look at people and you look at their kids and you want to tell them, listen, like, you know, you have an ugly kid. Like, I mean, this kid was fucking ugly. I'm sorry. I don't know how old this kid was. She could have been like 10, 11 years old. But and she was a brat, too. Like, you could tell she was a little cunt. But she was an ugly little cunt. Like, the mother wasn't, you know, I mean, she wasn't going to win any fucking beauty pageants, but I wouldn't necessarily consider her ugly like the other fat fucking broad that was standing next to her with the goddamn nose and the mole and the... I saw that woman, and I swear to God, I threw up a little bit in my mouth. I burped. But this kid, I just wanted to fucking just take the baseball, just crack her across the face with it. Like, I mean, come on, I can't be the only one, you know? Like, I mean, like, not every baby is fucking cute. Like, you pick up a baby, like, you know, you just know that kid's gonna be fucking ugly. And then you see these kids and they're a little older, and you kind of know where their face and everything is gonna go, and you just want to say, like, you couldn't just swallow. Like, I mean, you had to have this one. Look at it. It's fucking hideous. Like, I'm just saying. I'm sorry. Not every kid is cute. Okay? Not every kid is cute. Fortunately, you know, like my nieces and stuff, they're all adorable. I'm not just saying that because they're my relatives. If, you know, my friends had ugly kids, I tell them. You know? And they know that. So I'm just saying. But yeah. Yeah, I upset everybody at this fucking game. So, like I said, the name of the team is the Yard Goats, and I got like a little swag bag. They gave me like a little tote bag. Perks of upper management, pays to be the boss, right? So it had like a T-shirt, like a yard. I'm a proud owner of a Yard Goats T-shirt, and they gave me a hat. Look, it's an official player's hat. I guess because I actually don't hate this. I like the colors on it. So I was, you know, got the little fucking Yard Goat. So this is funny. So now I'm sitting down, and in front of me there's this family, right? They go to the, you know, they're out to have a nice evening, you know, enjoy some baseball. I guess they're big Yard Goat fans. Here comes me, so I'm sitting behind them. I'm sitting behind them, and you know, like, I don't know, every time they hit the ball, ran a base, let's go Yard Goats! And then I would go, They got so fucking pissed. They kept looking at me like I was crazy. I couldn't understand how I thought this was hilarious. The fucking team is a goat. I mean, how am I the only one doing this? Every time they're like, go Yard Goats. People wanted to fucking kill me. The wife kept looking at me, giving me dirty looks. I wish I would have thought about the screeching goats. You know, goats that scream. I thought it was funny. Hey, it was your minor league team. I didn't know who the fuck. They were playing the AA affiliate for the Phillies, the Reading Fighting Phils, which the Phillies beat them. Anyhow, so I mean, I had to keep myself entertained. I hung out for a couple hours and then I fucking left. But I'll talk a little bit more about the Yard Goats game in a little bit. But that was it. That's the week. So we got Trump, Biden, and Ketchup packets. Buckle up, baby. Here we go. All right, the Trump indictment. Another one. Well, you know, like I said, it was going to happen. I think this is number 3 or 4. I don't know. I fucking lost count. They keep indicting this fucking guy. Well, you know, not surprised because this week, Hunter Biden's business partner took the stand in front of a congressional hearing and testified about Joe Biden. So, you know, this Joe Biden influence peddling scandal starts to unfold. That's getting a lot of attention. So, to get the attention off of Joe, they rushed to indict Trump. It's just to deflect. I mean, it's obvious. Every time something happens with the Bidens, they indict Trump. It just because again, it just takes the attention off. All right. Otherwise, why? So they indicted him because get this shit right. It has, and I said this last week. It has to do with the January 6th thing. They said that they indicted him on charges that he conspired to defraud and mislead the American public. In other words, they're saying that he knew he lost, and he was just saying he lost to incite a riot. Just saying that they cheated to incite a riot. Like he knew that he absolutely believed that they didn't cheat, but he said it anyway to incite a riot. That's pretty fucking dumb. Okay, so let me explain why this is a stupid indictment. There's the freedom of speech, First Amendment. Whether you believe that the Biden administration, the Democrats cheated in this election or not, is irrelevant. Okay, we all saw what we saw. You interpret it the way you want to fucking interpret it. Okay, he interpreted it in the sense that no, I had the votes, I was beating the guy, they fucking cheated. Whether that's true or not, that's a different discussion. Okay, he believed it. He said it. That's freedom of speech. You understand? It's really that fucking simple. So you got to be able to prove that he knew beyond the shadow of a doubt that they didn't cheat. Like he had to say, oh, you know what? I guess they didn't cheat, but fuck it. I'm going to go and tell the people that anyway so that they riot. That's basically what you have to prove. Okay? Which is not the case at all. First of all, this is a very dangerous fucking indictment in the simple sense that they're basically coming after your freedom of speech. So if you legitimately believe something and say it, doesn't matter. It could be considered a crime if someone else doesn't like it. So if I say, all Democrats are fucking stupid, I could get indicted for saying that because it's, I'm conspiring to defraud you, the viewers, all 87 of you. You understand what I'm saying? It's fucking nuts. It's bullshit. Will this go anywhere? I don't think so. But my point is, they waited 4 years to indict him, and they just coincidentally happened to indict him the day after an eyewitness takes the stand and blows open this whole Biden influence peddling shit, where they actually linked Joe Biden to fucking phone calls and dinners with Burisma, China, and all these other business dealings that Hunter Biden had that Joe claimed he had no knowledge of. Okay? They had an eyewitness that said, yeah, Biden was in on it. They were selling the brand, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to talk more about that in detail a little later. But right after that breaks open and everyone's going, oh, my God, this is terrible. And like I said, McCarthy and company are looking to impeach this fucking asshole. Okay? They all of a sudden cobble this fucking indictment together and throw... First of all, they didn't even finish all their investigations yet. Nobody gets indicted unless an investigation's been completed first. That's usually how that works. Okay? That didn't happen here. So it's pretty fucking obvious. It's deflection. The fucking special prosecutor, this Jack Smith. Holy shit. He looks like he's a few French fries short of a fucking Happy Meal. The guy's fucking mentally irregular. He comes up and he starts talking about all the violence that happened on January 6th. Like he was blaming Trump for the violence, but that's not what you're getting indicted over. So he's talking about one thing, doing something. I think I don't know what the fuck he's doing. Okay, he looks mentally irregular. He looks like he spent his entire adolescence in a locker with an atomic wedgie. And now he wants a speedy trial. Of course they want a speedy trial. They want this in front of the voters, this January 6th thing, in front of the voters, so that they could use this as a fucking lever to kind of throw Trump under the bus, to make him look bad. Because here's what's really going on. Trump is fucking leading in the GOP. He's got the nomination. I mean, nobody's going to catch him. Not even DeSantis, no one. Okay? All of these other fucking... assholes that are jumping into the GOP, they're wasting everyone's fucking time. They're barely at 1%. Trump owns the fucking GOP nomination. Okay? And in other polls, he's beating Biden by a lot. So it doesn't look good. Okay? Yeah. Because he lost legitimately the first time. So he's beating fucking Biden in the landslide. So if you can't beat him, this is what you do. So, so they want a speedy trial so that they can have this, in the forefront. That's not going to happen. You're going to need at least a year to prepare for this trial. If they rush the trial, first of all, they can move to dismiss based on the fucking grounds of the indictment being flimsy at best. If the dismissal is denied, which most likely it would be, because I'm sure you're not going to get you're not going to get a fair trial in Washington, that's for sure. Like I said, you need at least a year to prepare. Okay, so I don't see that happening. Otherwise, if they force a speedy trial date, that could be misconstrued as a mistrial and thrown out, and that's that. But, again, like I said, they want to hit this guy with as many fucking trial dates as possible because they want to mire him down in court appearances and legal fees so that he can't properly campaign. Because they can't hide Biden in the fucking basement the entire time this time. They can't use COVID as a reason to let this, to keep this guy indoors. They're going to have to let him out and talk. And we all know how fun that is when Joe Biden starts talking. So, their strategy's pretty fucking obvious here. Here's what people seem to miss about January 6th. Okay, Trump didn't do anything wrong. Yeah, okay, so Trump gave a speech. And he said, yeah, all right, I believe they cheated. A lot of us do. Okay? And he said, yeah, I hope Mike Pence has the courage to do the right thing. And if you're going to go down the block and protest, please, be peaceful about it. Don't, he didn't incite any kind of riots. He didn't say burn the fucking Capitol down. Listen, if Trump didn't do a fucking thing that day, if he didn't say peep, if he didn't make a peep, if he didn't even leave the White House, what, you think these people weren't to fucking storm the goddamn Capitol? They were all gathering there. It was planned, okay? They were planning it because everybody saw what we saw. That's the point that people seem to not fucking understand. This was going to happen, whether fucking Trump said anything or not, okay? Because we all saw what happened. Maybe, some of you may be fucking stupid, okay? But the majority of us have eyes that work, okay? Trump was leading by a fucking landslide by 3:30 in the morning. Then everybody went, there was still, all of a sudden, they were still counting votes. Everybody forgot how to fucking count votes, okay? Certain swing states were purposely holding back fucking votes when in the past they always had their shit in, right? And then somewhere overnight, 250,000 fucking votes magically appeared. Now, I am not going to speak as to whether they were fraudulent, legitimate or whatever. I'm just telling you the facts. That's what everybody fucking saw. Everybody went to sleep thinking the country was safe. They woke up and now fucking Biden, they're telling you Biden's your president. So, this was inevitable. This was going to happen whether Trump fucking said anything or not, okay? That's just the way it is, all right? You don't have to be Columbo to figure out what happened with this election, okay? But, God forbid you say what you feel or say what you believe or say what you think because now you're a fucking terrorist. And now they're indicting people over this, namely Donald Trump, 4 years later. Like I said, they could have indicted him at any point over this, right? I mean, he beat a fucking impeachment over it. But they waited 4 years right after Biden gets mired down in a fucking pay-for-play scandal, which he said he was innocent of, okay? But turns out he may not be that innocent, okay? And also when his former political opponent is kicking his fucking dick in the goddamn polls. So now all of a sudden we decide to indict him over this bullshit? I don't think so. Okay? People didn't riot because Trump asked them to. People didn't riot because Trump said anything to incite it. People rioted because they were fucking pissed off at what was going on. Okay? And that's the Democrats' fault, not Donald Trump's. There, I said it. Okay? They said that they had no evidence of tampering. When they tried to sue, when they tried to bring these allegations, they said there wasn't sufficient enough evidence to prove election tampering. They were very careful in their wording. They said there wasn't sufficient evidence, which here's how I hear that. I don't know, maybe you guys don't listen as good as I do, but I hear that there is evidence. It's just not sufficient enough to prove that this crime happened. What's sufficient evidence? That's all interpreted by the court, right? So, what? 5 eyewitnesses is sufficient, but 4 isn't? Like, you know what I'm saying? So, there was evidence. They just chose to ignore it. They didn't want to bring this as a case. They didn't want to say, yeah, there was election tampering. Yeah, someone cheated. Because if they said that, if that was the case, if that was the truth, right? Okay, I'm not saying it is. Settle down. Fucking algorithms at YouTube. Okay? But if that was indeed the case, if that was indeed what happened, okay? If you admit that, if you prove that, holy shit, then that questions the integrity of every single fucking election. It's a problem. It's going to start civil war. You know, I don't agree with it, but I understand it. So, again, they were very careful when they said what they said. They didn't say that there was no evidence. They said there wasn't sufficient enough evidence to prove what Donald Trump was alleging. Okay, but he ain't letting it go. He is hell-bent on it. Okay? Listen, can I blame the guy? No, I can't. Okay, and then you see how everything is unraveling. I'm sure people are having buyer's remorse. You know, so, like I said, with all, you know, by the courts coming back and saying there wasn't sufficient enough evidence, they're playing both ends of the fence here. I mean, with all the bullshit that's going on with the DOJ, what do you think? No one's giving these fucking judges instructions, right? No one's telling one of these judges, hey, yo, you got to blow this out of court. Figure it out. This basic, get it out of here. Okay? So this was never going to be proven. Whether it was true or not, doesn't matter. It wasn't going to be proven. It was dead on arrival. Okay? And, you know, a lot of people saying, well, Pence didn't have the authority to stop the vote count or this, that, and the other. Like, Pence did have the authority to question the votes and send them back to the state legislatures for an audit. See, the legislatures were circumvented, and it wasn't. They never audited the election results. Okay, they came in, they went through, boom, that's it. Pence. I'm not saying Pence could have stopped the changing of the guard. Pence couldn't have stopped. You know, he couldn't have overturned the election. Okay, he doesn't have that authority. That he's right on. He doesn't. But that's not what they were asking him to do. They were asking him to send back the votes from these questionable states back to the state legislatures for a full audit, a full forensic audit. Now, if after that forensic audit it came back and the numbers were correct, well, then you know Biden was elected beyond the shadow of any fucking doubt. No harm, no foul. Trump would have lost legitimately, fairly, and squarely. But if those numbers came back and there was some kind of a problem, that's the issue. Now, I said, you know, because if the Biden team was so confident that they won square, they should have said, yeah, go ahead, Pence, send them back. Go. Let's get let's clear the air right now so that I don't have to deal with this bullshit going down the fucking line for the next 4 years. Right? Doesn't that make sense? If I'm the guy who wins the election, supposedly, and I'm saying, you know, I legitimately won, and they go, we want to just like make sure. If I'm so fucking certain, oh yeah, go ahead, count them. But they didn't want to do that. They were, whoa, no. Why? What are you hiding? You understand my point? On the other hand, okay, there's actual legal precedent for this. So like I said, Pence had the authority to say that he can't reject or dismiss the votes, but given all the ambiguity surrounding the election, he could have just sent them back to the state legislature for a detailed forensic audit, period, which also would have avoided January 6th altogether. You know? that's that's the other thing. You know what I mean? If he would, you know that there's an unsettled mob outside the Capitol. You know that there's a lot of ambiguity surrounding this thing. Listen, if Trump was wrong, right? But he believed that he was a legitimate president, that he legitimately won. Okay, just to fucking just stick it to him and put him in his place, they could have sent it back for a forensic audit, right? If I'm Biden and I want to shut this fucking guy up, I'm gonna say, listen, I'm okay with that. Just send it fucking back, okay? I don't want this crowd of Malafeuda outside, you know. Again, if Pence was so fucking worried about himself and everybody was all so fucking worried, they would have just sent the fucking votes back to be recounted. That's it. That's all they were asking for a detailed audit of these numbers. That's it. That would have avoided January 6th, but they did none of that. Okay, this fucking asshole Pence, so I had an oath to the Constitution, and I chose the Constitution by the grace of God. You know, and another thing about Mike Pence, speaking of Pence, this fucking the indictment, they used some of his personal notes as grounds for constructing this indictment. Personal notes means shit that he scribbled on a piece of paper that nobody fucking knew about. How did they get those fucking notes? That's what I want to know. It's funny. He's also a presidential candidate for the GOP. This motherfucker narked on him, okay? Please. He's a fucking slithering swamp rat dwelling rhino fuck, okay? He's a rat, this little son of a bitch. Anytime somebody constantly uses God and their religion as a fucking reason for being a fucking scumbag, because he was on Fox the other day, everything is, I chose the American people by the grace of God, by the grace of God. I went, if I'm going with the grace of God, you son of a bitch, please, okay? Anytime someone uses the religion of God as an excuse for being a fucking scumbag, you know they're full of shit, okay? And this delusional fuckstick thinks he has a shot at being president. Like, what goes through their fucking heads? I don't know. So, we know a couple things, right? He knocked on his fucking former boss. Because how did these personal notes end up in Jack Smith's pocket? Okay? He turned them over. He's conspiring to persecute a fellow political opponent. This motherfucker should be put under the jail too. Okay? Because he's a rhino. He gets instructions. Okay? He was put there as a fucking insurance policy. Okay? That's all he was. He was a scumbag from day one. Never liked him. I said it too. I never liked him. So, if Trump should get convicted, which I know won't happen, but if it does happen, he could actually get the goddamn death penalty for these fucking charges. I swear to God, okay, it's treason, okay? And so just hypothetically, these fucking liberal fucks, they're all against the death penalty. But I promise you, if that judge bangs that gavel, looks at Donald Trump and says guilty, they're going to push for the full fucking death penalty. They meant it when they said they wanted to kill him. Okay? Listen, like I said before, if you can't beat him, kill him. Or persecute him or whatever. I mean, it's fucking insane. It's insane what's happening. It's crazy. Okay, kids, on another Biden blunder. Well, I mentioned it before. Okay, Devin Archer testified in Congress, said Joe knew everything. Okay, Hunter Biden put him on the phone while he was at, it was a thing, like, they're selling the Biden brand influence peddling. So, you got to be able to show, I can get the big guy on the phone like that. So that's why I'm worth $50 million. He goes, watch this. Let's call my dad. Calls him right there. One shot, Joe Biden picks up. He puts him on the phone. He goes, Dad, you're on speakerphone. I'm having dinner with all these guys. Hey, guys. So now, the question is, first of all, we know Joe Biden knew who the fuck they were, okay? Because you're using burner phones. So why would you use a burner phone if you're doing legitimate business? Secondly, okay, wouldn't you ask your son, hey, who are these people? Why are you putting me on the phone with them? You can't be doing this shit. Okay, wouldn't you say that? Wouldn't you? There was multiple times where Devin Archer was able to put, and you can, again, you can play stuff, you can track the calls. It's all reported. Okay, so that now the Democrats are going, well, we know, we talked to these, but he was just being polite. Really? He was just being fucking polite. If Trump was polite, they'd have him in fucking leg irons. Okay? Polite my ass. So, again, with all of this shit breaking open, they deflect. Sleight of hand. Oh, look what Donald Trump's doing. This is the guy I hope the Republicans don't drop the fucking ball on his shit. Okay? Stick with it. You got him bleeding now. That's it. Dig that fucking knife a little deeper. Okay? This motherfucker should get impeached and put under the fucking jail. I don't care that he's 80. I don't care. So, yeah, I mean, I like how the Democrats right now, because McCarthy suggested impeachment, they're saying, well, that's divisive. Really? Because if I remember correctly, Trump got impeached for making a phone call to the Ukrainian president at the time and saying, hey, what was going on with this whole relief thing with Joe? And they go, that was, quid pro quo. That was, Meanwhile, Joe actually did a pay-for-play scandal. It was quid pro quo. He asked the question, and they said he was trying to persecute a political opponent, and they impeached him over it. This guy, he even bragged about fucking doing it. They got witnesses that said he did it, and they're like, well, he was being polite. We don't want to impeach him. That's divisive. How do you expect people to fucking believe you? Like, I don't get, like, what the fuck goes through their heads? I don't understand. Anyway, on 52 Farts, now that we spent a considerable amount of time on politics, right off the top of the fart deck, we got natural gas, which is an audible ejection of duodenal gases caused by the digestive byproducts of a vegetarian diet. I've always said this. Vegetarians smell. Okay? They take the most horrific shits and farts. It's all the fucking soy protein that they eat. It's not natural. Okay? It's all laced with chemicals and bullshit. Being a fucking vegetarian, especially a vegan, probably the most unhealthiest diet you can maintain. You're better off eating a pound of bacon that's soaked in butter and sprinkled with powdered sugar every fucking day than to be one of these fucking vegan retards. Okay? First of all, they all look sickly. Like they're dying from like AIDS or something. And when they fart, it is the most horrific. It's like something inside of them died. And it's just like decomposing. They're decomposing from the inside out. Revolting fucking people. Okay? I think the only thing that would be worse than that would be a gay vegan. Especially if they're on the bottom. Because every time you go, that's got to bring out some... Okay, kids, get your tickets out. We're about to hop onto that maniacal, magical, expressive mayhem and fuckery. The crazy train's about to leave the station. Oh, but woo-hoo! First stop, that's right, New York City. So, in an effort to make New York City a safer and better place, Mayor Motherfucker is taking a hardline stance on a very important topic. Something that's apparently been plaguing the city for decades. And no one, until right now, has decided to really, roll their sleeves up and get their hands dirty and tackle this problem head on. Mayor Motherfucker is now cracking down on plastic utensils, plates, napkins, and ketchup packets. Any restaurant that automatically puts these in a bag on a takeout order will be fined $200. So if I order food from a restaurant or a deli, like a DoorDash or something, and I want if I order a salad, right, or like a non-sandwich, and I want to be able to eat it like a human, I have to remember to ask for a fork. Like the restaurant can't assume, he's going to probably not want to eat this with his hands and just put a fork and a knife. Like they can't just include a couple of napkins. Like I have to say, listen, I make a mess. I need some napkins. Could you give me a little ketchup or something? And they're probably going to give you one packet of ketchup. They never give you enough ketchup anyway, So this is his fucking focus. Okay, so if a restaurant decides to take the initiative and give you a paper, first of all, I understand how pizzerias are going to do this, right? They always put the slice on the plate, stick the plate in the bag, so I guess they can't do that no more. We're going to throw the fucking slice in the goddamn fucking bag. Okay? So how do you enforce this? That means somebody has to fucking knock on the restaurant. So you know some liberal cunt is going to order something, get 2 napkins and call like City Hall. This deli gave me a napkin! These fucking restaurants have all to do but to survive, okay? They barely got through fucking COVID. The city is pretty much a fucking ghost town. So this is the next thing. But how do you expect these fucking businesses to, like, thrive? When you got people doing this, this is what this fucking dumb motherfucker is fucking focused on, okay? All right, there's homeless people throwing shit at cars, okay? Junkies, everywhere, all over the fucking place. You walk outside of Macy's, junkies. You go through Times, junkies, okay? Junkies everywhere, right? Hookers blowing people on the fucking street, okay? Literally, just you're walking down Fifth Avenue, there's some toothless crack going, just banging dicks that go over her fucking forehead, okay? This idiot actually took a 2 a.m. ride to Queens to count the fucking hookers. I swear to God, he says this on the news, right? I want to be sure that there was some hookers there, so, I said, we gonna take a ride. 2 a.m. We went down that motherfucker. You know how many of them bitches I done seen? Okay? Like them bitches from Queens, you know what I'm saying, man? So, hey, Eric, careful if you went to Jackson Heights. You might get a little extra surprise with some of those girls, you know? You want to check the undercarriage first. There's migrants everywhere, like fucking cockroaches all over the place. They're sleeping on the fucking sidewalks on cardboard, okay? Crime is out of control. Murder all over the subway. You go on the subway, you're gonna get murdered. Plain and simple, right? But ketchup packets and napkins are a fucking major problem in New York City. Thank God he's on the job. Thank God he's got his priorities straight. He's taking care of business, this fucking man. Oh, he's worth every fucking penny the taxpayers are paying this fucking retard. Next stop, Disney. The Magic Kingdom, the happiest place on earth. They're giving Mickey Mouse his walking papers. They're forcing Mickey Mouse into fucking retirement. What the fuck is happening? A Disney without Mickey. And no, oddly enough, this has nothing to do with the woke agenda. It has absolutely nothing to do with Ron DeSantis. It has to do with public domain. Apparently, they had a 100-year copyright on Mickey Mouse. And now that copyright's over. And I don't think they can renew it. So now Mickey Mouse is going to become public domain, which means anybody could use his likeness without having to pay Disney. So they're going to retire him and make him irrelevant now. We can't give a special dispensation or something. I mean, this should be like a non-issue, you know. Like when it comes to copywritten stuff, I'm siding with Disney on this one. This is a Disney staple. It's the hallmark of this. Everything Disney is built off of Mickey Mouse's little tiny shoulders. Why can't we give them an exclusive forever copyright for all the Disney characters? Okay? Forget the ones like Snow White and Winnie the Pooh and all these. These are all literary characters. Okay? But the ones that are created by Disney. Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, Goofy, all of that shit. That should be just, proprietary stuff, okay? What is Warner Brothers going to make a fucking Mickey Mouse cartoon now? Come on. You know what I mean? I'm with Disney on this one. So I'm a little bothered, let's say, about, forcing poor Mickey Mouse into fucking retirement. Terrible. Next stop, Illinois. One of my home away from home show. The governor is just as delightful as ours. Governor Pritzker signed a bill recently allowing illegals to become cops. One of the hallmarks of being a police officer is you have to, be a citizen. You have to have at least an associate's degree so we know that you're not completely fucking retarded. or the equivalent in practical service, military, whatever, and that's it. You go through police, pass the entrance exam, go through police academy. That's not rocket science. But this idiot decided that it's okay for illegal citizens who could barely fucking read and write and take a shit and wipe their ass. It's okay if they become cops. How are you going to allow a non-citizen to arrest a citizen? What kind of fresh fucking insanity is this? Can someone explain it to me, please? Okay? No wonder why all of my boys are getting the fuck out of Chicago. Everybody left. Okay? Another great city ruined by stupid fucking Democrats. It's just the whole state of Illinois now is just about to just spiral down a fucking toilet. It's just insane. Final stop, Japan. Okay? Right across the Pacific there. So in Japan, this man identifies as a dog, more specifically a collie. So he pays this company $14,000 to make him a very realistic dog costume. And he puts it on and he goes and takes himself for a walk through the street like a fucking dog. Like he's walking on all fours like a dog. And like people are petting him, and this is the creepiest fucking thing I've ever seen in my whole fucking life. I mean, he's his own best friend. You know, it wasn't all that long ago, okay, that if an adult walked around pretending to be a dog, they put him in a fucking straitjacket and stuck him in a puzzle factory where they fucking belong. They don't encourage this behavior like they do now. People petting him and go, oh, he's so courageous. The man thinks he's a fucking canine. He thinks he's fucking Lassie. That is not courageous. That is a different C word. It's called crazy. Okay? Where did we go wrong? I don't know. Every day I wake up, I put the news on, I read things. I'm like, what? When did I become the fucking sane one? Seriously. All right, kids, your sports update. Well, I already updated you on minor league baseball. So, Yankees play the Astros tonight at 7:05. They're still in fucking last place. I think last week or the week before, I think they were like 2.5 games out from the wild card. I don't even think they're going to make the fucking wild card. I hope they're ace pitcher. Now, the guy who pitched the fucking no-hitter, Domingo Germán, this guy is the one that was suspended for a few games for beating the shit out of his wife. Well, apparently he's got a fucking drinking problem. Okay? I mean, who knows? Maybe he was hungover, or maybe he was 3 sheets. Listen, if that guy was drunk when he threw that no-hitter, I would liquor him up before every fucking game. So, because he's a drunk, they suspended him for the rest of the season. He's got to go through like alcohol abuse counseling. And you couldn't wait. You couldn't fucking wait. I mean, they knew the guy was a drunk. Now you do it. In August, you couldn't fucking do this after the season. But last year, no, now. Take him out of the rotation. These Yankees, I swear to God, I really hope that they don't make the fucking playoffs, and I hope that somebody in the front office wakes up and then fires Cashman and fucking Boone and just replaces everybody. I don't know what else to do with them anymore. I stopped even watching. I don't even fucking care. Well, you know what's going to happen tonight? They're going to lose. They got ass fucked by the fucking Rays the other night. It's like, why even bother watching? It's not even worth my time. Okay? Team's awful. It's just fucking awful. Mets and Orioles tonight at 7:05. The Mets are another. If you're a Mets fan, azalud. They made some fucking crazy-ass trades just this week. Now, there might be some logic to this, okay? Because this guy, the new owner, Cohen, he's not Wilpon. I don't think the guy's stupid. So my guess is broom the dead wood, free up a lot of fucking room on the payroll and the budget, and build your farm league. That's one thing the Mets never did, is they never built their farm league and then pick from it. They would start to build, and they would trade them all off. And then, trade for they trade prospects, they trade picks, for what they can get now. Which, is a Band-Aid on a gunshot wound. Okay, so if you build up your farm league, give it a couple of years, cultivate them, develop them right, then you bring them up to the majors, you might actually have a fucking World Series team. I know, it's the Mets, I'm tempering myself, but, I'm speaking objectively. The Yankees, on the other hand, well, this is why the Yankees always were a better team, is because they build up their farm league. And then they bring them up. That's how you got guys like Derek Jeter, Tino Martinez, all of these fucking guys. Now, the problem with the Yankees is they can't manage their fucking team because they have retards fucking managing it. So it doesn't matter how good your players are, okay? It's like giving a fucking, their managers are fucking dumb. It's like giving a kid with a learner's permit a fucking Ferrari and then wondering why he crashed it. Vis-a-vis Aaron Boone. Okay? Whereas the Mets have a seasoned managing staff. Bucky's great. I love Bucky, right? They know what they're doing. They have some smart baseball people in the front office. They just got they got no backup team. They got no farm team to pick from. So, they had a couple of good players, but they're getting old. They're not gelling right because they're not filling in the blanks properly. So just fucking cut them all loose. Listen, they're second to last, right? What are they going to do this year? So cut them all fucking loose, free up a lot of payroll, and then next year make some fucking moves. Makes sense. Hopefully that's what they're thinking. Phillies are playing what are they playing tonight? Phillies and Royals tonight, 7:05. Okay, and meanwhile the Phillies are doing better than the Mets and the Yankees. I think they're second place in the NL East. All right, on Tommy's Pub and Grub review. So like I said, I was at the Yard Goats game the other night, last night. So the Yard Goats play in Duncan Park, which is a nice little baseball stadium in downtown Hartford. It's obviously, sponsored by Dunkin' Donuts. Which you would think Dunkin' Donuts sponsors a fucking baseball stadium, that they would be a rather large presence or concession for Dunkin' Donuts. Not the case. I couldn't fucking believe it. I walked around that fucking baseball stadium for 25 minutes. I couldn't find a cup of iced coffee if my fucking life depended on it. Like, you would think that they would have, like, a Dunkin' Donuts concession, right? Like, just boom, Dunkin' Donuts. Nothing. Now, I had to drive fucking 3.5 hours. I wasn't looking to power drink. Okay, granted, they had Yingling, so I had about a beer or two, nothing bad, nothing crazy. I was happy about that. Not a lot of baseball stadiums outside of fucking Philadelphia have Yingling at the stadium. They did. I was delighted by that. Fine. But I wanted some fucking iced coffee. I didn't have it. I'm in a park that's sponsored by Dunkin' Donuts. They got a fucking giant cup of coffee on top of the Jumbotron, right? But they don't have one single... Not even the concession stands was selling iced coffee. Nothing. They looked at me like I was crazy. So strike one. So, I tell you all the time, the food at these baseball stadiums doesn't really knock me out. Okay? Granted, their hot dogs were reasonably priced, and the beer was too. Like, I bought a couple of Yinglings. I think they were $8 each. That's what I pay for a beer, like in a bar, like $7, $8. Whereas if I went to Yankee Stadium or Citi Field, that same beer is like $15, $20. So, even that, like, that's just, it's reasonable. It's nice. Now, because we had a sponsored event, we were like in one of the picnic areas, which was behind center field. And there's the concessionaire that catered it. We hired, was Bear's Barbecue. You think it's barbecue, it can't be bad, right? So, they didn't do, hot dogs, burgers, mac and cheese, and like some pulled barbecue chicken. That's what they had. And it was all terrible. it was fucking terrible. The mac and cheese wasn't bad. It had a nice consistency. It was very creamy. But it was bland. It needed like something. It needed like some kind of a punch. I wouldn't say that this was the best barbecue joint because they pulled chicken, they barbecue chicken, which you think it's barbecue joint. It's not that complicated. Dry as shit. Which means, first of all, they're only using white meat. So, okay, fine. typically, if you're going to barbecue a chicken and pull it, the whole thing, the legs, the thighs, the wings, maybe you cut the wings off and make smoked wings. Fine, I understand that. But you leave the dark meat in there because it gives it some moisture and flavor. Now, if you're going to do white meat only, that you're going to have a problem. You got to brine that chicken. Okay, like I've had barbecue chicken at Dinosaur's Barbecue all the time. Matter of fact, it's one of my favorite things to order there, and I'm not a chicken fan because they brine it perfectly. If you're making smoked chicken, okay, especially if you're doing it on a hot smoke, okay, anything over 215 degrees is hot smoke. Hot smoking, anything below that is cold smoking. Like, for example, if I go to smoke chicken, I prefer to do it on a cold smoke, but I brine it. So you got to brine it for at least 8 hours, 8 to 12 hours, okay? Pat it dry. And then you run it on a cold smoke about 200, 210 degrees like that. You want it to hit like an internal temperature of about 125, 135, which I know is still raw, but it's smoking slow. Then what you do is you pull it, you increase the heat, okay? You add some more coals to the fire, get that fire up to about 250 degrees. You wrap the chicken in butcher paper, and then you put it back to an internal temperature of 165, something like that. Okay, so it's fully cooked, but at least it retains its moisture that way. Okay, that's how I smoke chicken. You gotta be careful with chicken. They didn't know that. They didn't do that. They're a barbecue joint. They didn't do the chicken was fucking dry. It was like chewing on paper, garbage. They don't even make their own barbecue sauce. They were using fucking Bullseye. Big fucking no-no. So, Bear's barbecue sucked. The hot dogs, wasn't knocked out by it. I'm a pain in the ass when it comes to hot dogs. Sabrett, Boy's Head, or Nathan's, or Hebrew National. Otherwise, anything else is crap. They do this weird thing with burgers in Hartford. They're known for this. These steamed burgers. Now, when I think of a steamed burger, I think of like a White Castle slider. They steam it over some onions. It's nice. You get the flavor of the onion. It's good. They don't do that. They take a regular hamburger bun, a regular hamburger, and they steam it. It's disgusting. I've been into this thing, and I mean, I could power through a McDonald's burger. It would be better than this shit. I took 2 chomps out of this thing. I'm like, this is crap. So needless to say, I was not pleased with the food. But that was at the catered event. I don't know how the other concessions are, because I didn't try them at that point. I was disgusted. And they didn't have a Dunkin' Donuts thing, so I said, fuck this, I'm gone. And that was that. Okay, they might have a good concession there, I don't know. The likelihood of me going to another Yard Goats game, maybe if I sponsor this event again next year, which I don't know. We'll see. But I do like the hat. Not going to lie about that. So there you go. That's my review on Duncan Park on what the fuck is that? We're going to talk about nipple hair. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about, nipple hair. But not just any nipple hair. No. Women with nipple hair. Apparently this is a thing. Now, a couple weeks ago, last week before, I don't know. All these fucking days run together. I'm at the bar. 2 of my friends who just happen to be women. Platonic friends. They were having this conversation, and I just happened to overhear it, and when you catch a conversation at the wrong time, they were talking about plucking each other's nipple hair. And I looked at them. Because, they're both, like, fair-skinned. Like, they're not, like, Italian or Hispanic. I'm not going to... Italian women, Hispanic women, we tend to have... they tend to have a little bit more body hair. These 2 were fair-skinned, Irish, whatever the fuck. And I looked at them and said, did you just talk nipple hair? They're like, yeah, like, when you get a nipple hair. I'm like, I'm a guy. I'm part fucking Wookiee. I have a hairy chest, yeah, but my nipples are not hairy. Like, I never had to pull a fucking hair out of my nipple. Like, I don't understand what the fuck you're talking about here. They're like, like when you get like a nipple hair. Like, you ever see a girl with a nipple hair? I said, honestly, I've been very fortunate in my life to never encounter a woman with a fucking long nipple hair. I don't know that I could bounce back from that. Okay, I'm very particular when it comes to nipples. Okay? Like, everybody loves a tit, right? Best thing in the world. But, look, they all come in different shit. Like, I don't like those tiny little nipples that, like, Like a zit is bigger than. Like, what am I doing with these things? I got nothing. I can't do nothing with them. Like, you don't want an areola that's the size of your fucking shoulder. I mean, sometimes, listen, a big areola is not going to frighten me as long as you got a good nipple. Okay? I don't like the little areolas that are barely not even there because that almost looks, inauthentic to me. So you want like a nice nipple, an areola shouldn't be bigger than $50. Quarter to $50 size, perfect. The nipple, you want it about maybe like the size of like the tip of my thumb, or maybe like the tip of my pinky. Nothing smaller than that, okay? Okay, granted, you don't want a nipple that's the size of a fucking grape. Like, that's a problem. Like, I don't know what the fuck to do with that. Like, you could feed a neighborhood with that, okay? But at no point do I want to see hair coming out of the nipple, the areola, any other part of the fucking tit. Nothing. I don't understand how you let a hair grow big enough that you can pluck it. Like, what were you, cultivating this fucking thing? Ladies, if this is a problem that you encounter, keep it to yourselves, number one. Number two, make sure you clean that shit up. Okay? Otherwise, you are not going to make friends. I'm going to tell you right now. Okay? Nipple hair. Sometimes, I wish I didn't hear certain things. Okay, kids, on right or racist. So, studies show that there is a strong correlation between having religious views, and being less intelligent, as reported by the Metro UK in 2015. Well, that's right. You see, you kind of have to be dumb to believe the guy in the sky created the entire world in 7 days. Okay? These overly religious nutcases that actually, like born-agains. Okay? Like, they take the fucking Bible literally. Okay? Like these, I'm Christian. Run. Someone tells you that they're Christian. Okay? Run. They're mentally irregular. Okay? They actually believe the Bible is literal. The Bible is your fucking fairy tale. Okay? It's to teach you a lesson. You get at any point, if you're believing this stuff to be factual, all the people who wrote this book were on drugs. Okay? They were hallucinating. They were, malnutritioned, dehydrated. They were doing hallucinogenics. They were all fucking batshit crazy. Okay? Hystericals. You can't believe a fucking word. It's just kind of like a guideline, like a fairy tale. That's it. But these born-agains, they think it's like legitimate. Okay, like they don't understand science. They think, God created the world literally in 7 days. And according, if you go by what they think, we're all related because we all came from Adam and Eve. Don't even get me started on that. So yeah, I get that. There's a lack of intelligence for people who are like that. Like, in other words, they're fucking dumb. Most of them probably vote Democrat. Okay? So, there's that. Okay, kids, your PSA. So, like I said, last week, I picked a day to go to the beach. Figured I'd relax. Aside from almost killing someone in the parking lot. I should have known right then and there. I should have just got back in my truck and left right then and there and said, you know what, that's it. That's a sign. But no, not me. I got to keep going. So, I'm on the beach. What is it with these people with the beach tents? Like, can someone explain this to me? Like, I'm sitting there, nice, and I'm watching these people trying to wreck these fucking tent cities all over the fucking beach. These canopies, these tents, the things, the shit. Why go to the beach if you're going to sit under a tent? Okay, people usually go to get a little color. Now I got your fucking tent next to me. God help people if they put that shit too close to me. I'll cut it. I'll take a fucking knife and just cut it in half. I don't give a shit. I'll throw it in the goddamn ocean. I get the fuck out of here with this shit. Okay, what are we, camping? If I wanted to camp, I'd go to a fucking campsite. Or I'd go down to the Bowery and just, like, bunk with one of the homeless people in Tent City over there. What are you doing? Why do you gotta come to the beach with this whole fucking setup? You need a chair, a towel, maybe a little table, nice, a cooler, and that's it. They got the umbrellas and the tents and this. Get the fuck out of here. Stay home. If you're worried about skin cancer, stay home. Don't be on the beach. It's very simple. Nobody wants to see you anyway with your lumpy fucking body. Then that brings me to my next point. guys in Speedos. I didn't think that this was still a thing, okay? And it's always a thing with guys that are like, over the age of 50. Like, there was this guy and this chick. The chick was actually kind of cute. This fucking guy gets up, he's he's wearing a fucking Speedo. He's wearing a goddamn mankini. I can't unsee that shit in my eyes. What? People still fucking wear these things? I mean, look, listen, that's eye rape. Okay, you're raping my fucking eyes. If you're gonna go to the beach or the pool, whatever the fuck you're going, you're wearing a goddamn Speedo. It should be a law that we're allowed to pour gasoline on you and fucking burn you to death. It should be a law. I'm just saying. There's no reason for this shit. Okay? Then there's the third thing that aggravated the shit out of it. This is what I'm doing. I'm sitting on the beach, supposed to be relaxed. I'm going on a jog. The fucking people with the slides and the socks on the beach. You know how I feel about slides. And you know how I feel about slides and socks. Why? Why would you be wearing socks to the beach? If the sand bothers your little fucking tootsies, stay home and kill yourself. Okay? Nobody needs you in society, you little fruitcake. Enough with this shit. Okay? It really. What the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Socks on the beach and just stay home. Don't go nowhere. Okay? There should be some kind of fucking beach etiquette. Slides and socks on it. What kind of refugee bullshit is this? I hope a shark bites both your fucking legs off. That's what I hope. Okay? Seriously. Anyway, stay COVIDless, kids. No mask. Don't ask haters and kiss my ass. And remember, who loves you, babe? It's been your Friday wrap-up. I'll see you when I see you.